everyone. Today we will create a multi-agent system using Crew AI and Gemini. The agentic system that we will create today is a very simple one. There are going to be two agents in here. The first agent is going to be a researcher. For a given topic, this agent will go and Google relevant websites and data and put together some content which will be used by the second agent called a senior writer who will pick up that information and write an article. Okay, let's get started. We will install these following packages: CrewAI underscore tools, CrewAI, and LangChain underscore Google underscore GenAI. The last one is for using Gemini API, and the other two are CrewAI related tools. Let's go ahead and run it. And I'm using Google Cloud's CoLab Enterprise. Okay, now that we have installed the packages, let's go on with the next step. We are importing the package chat Google Generative AI from LangChain Google GenAI. And then from CrewAI, we are importing agent and LLM packages. Okay, and here's the Google API key. Don't mind copying this. I will delete this API key right after this video, so I will not be able to access it. And then we are declaring which LLM model that we are going to use here. So we're saying LLM is equal to LLM API underscore key, Google API key, and model. A model is going to be Gemini 2.5 Flash. Okay, let's run it. And as you know, I hope you know the purpose of temperature. The higher the temperature, the model is going to be less creative. The lower it is, it's going to be highly creative. Okay, now that that is done, now let us create a tool that will be used by the researcher to look up Google to get data. So we will use Serper API, which is available on serper.dev in order to pull Google the internet, right? And we will use, this is where we are using from CrewAI tools, we import serper.dev tool, and we say serper.dev tools equal to, we are declaring this variable, and there is Serper API key. Again, I'm going to delete this right after this video, and we are setting the Serper API key here as an environment variable. Okay, hit executed. Now let's declare or set up the agent. The first agent is called news researcher. The role is senior researcher. Goal is to uncover. So you need to set different characteristics of this agent as per CrewAI. And one of it is, the goal. What is the goal of this agent? And then you want to say whether it is, it needs to respond in a verbose manner or not. Should it keep memory? And then some little bit of backstory. This gives the persona for this agent. And then we are also saying that this needs to use the dev tools, which we declared earlier. And LLM, it's going to use the LLM that we declared, which is Gemini 2.5 Flash. Okay. And we are saying allow delegation equal to false because we don't want the researcher tool to go on and delegate its task to some other agent. Now let's go ahead and set up the next agent, which is the news writer. Same way, we are giving the goal. And also please note that, even in the previous, for news researcher agent, we said within braces, we said topic. And the topic is going to be the input that we provide, what topic we wanted to research and write about. And the backstory is a little bit different here. This is more focused on writing. And we say that you typically base your writing on the work of the news researcher, who's the previous agent, who provides the outline. And then you leverage that, right? And note that there are no tools added here, because if we don't want the writer to go and, do any looking up, it just needs to rewrite what the researcher came up with. Let's go ahead and run it. That worked. Now let us go ahead and set up the tasks, right? So we already defined what the agent is, who the agents are, and we are going to give tasks for those agents to perform. So here we import task from CrewAI, and the task will look like this. We're saying research task equal to task, and then description, what that is going to be like. This is where you give the detailed instructions on what the agent has to do, right? And then we can also mention what the expected output is. And again, you're saying, asking it to use the tools and which agent should be invoked for performing this task, which is it's the news researcher agent. Likewise, we have writer task. It's a bit different. Of course, it's focused on writing, and then output is a 4-paragraph article, no tools, and the agent to be used is news writer. Let's execute this. Okay, it worked. Now is the time to bring all these agents together and sort of, tie them together and put them as a crew in action, right? Using Crew AI. So from Crew AI, we are importing crew and process, right? Now, crew is equal to crew, where you say, okay, what are the agents involved here? News researcher, news writer, and then tasks, research task and writer task, and verbose, whether we want it to be elaborate or not. And then we write, this is where, the crew gets kicked off. You ask the crew to go ahead and do the work. So input is topic is potential of AI in financial services industry, right? So let's go ahead and execute it. And you notice that, there are different ways you could create an multi-agentic team. Here, it's going to be sequential, as in the news researcher will get executed and then the news writer will get executed. But there are different ways, like you could have hierarchical crews, you could have cross-collaborating crews, and where you kind of let the agent decide which other agent it should invoke or delegate the work to. And that's where protocols like agent-to-agent protocol come in picture. But it doesn't apply here. We're just doing a simple multi-agent system with 2 agents. So here's the output. You can see the work it is doing, right? Search the internet with SERPer. So that's the first task. News researcher is doing that. There's the query it uses, and it got here is a thought, initial thought that senior researcher got. So that's one thought it got, and it comes from internet, right, with SERPer. And it comes up with a simple write-up by itself. The financial services is undergoing a profound transformation, etc. And then comes senior writer, who's the second agent, gets kicked in, and it uses its own tasks, and it rewrites the content that was written by the senior researcher.